Hello guys, it's Maddie Summers and welcome to another video where today I am building a modern micro home. Yes, it is a tier 1 micro home, which I know is kind of old news. I'm sure most people at this point have attempted a build of a micro home, but I don't think I actually have. I think I've built a micro home. It was one of the first builds I did on my channel, but it was kind of a cheat one. So there is that hack where you can kind of trick the game into thinking that different roofs, like you can basically make a wall out of roof pieces and the game doesn't recognize it as a room, but it kind of acts as a room. So I've made a micro home like that, and it was a huge micro home, but I've never made a traditional 32 tile micro home, so that is what we have today. And I also knew that I wanted to make a really small home that was very modern in style and also really monochrome, so pretty much exclusively black and white decor, and that is what we've got here. So it is almost all black and white, this build. I really like it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It is the full 32 tiles of a micro home. It does have a back garden as well, but it's not a very impressive back garden, so usually I would try and make it a bit nicer with, like proper decking, so like a foundation and then like closed up fences and stuff, but you can't do that with the smaller homes because that counts as tiles, so it's kind of just brick on the floor. But I did end up adding like some seating areas and a barbecue as well, so there is that outdoor space. But yeah, it is a very small home. I usually really like kind of bigger plans. I'm someone who really likes sort of aesthetics, so I kind of prefer and kind of favor how things look versus their functionality. So sometimes when I do apartments and I'm not going to upload them to the gallery, I don't even bother playtesting them. As long as they look nice, I don't really mind. But this micro home is actually fully functional. I did test it out. It does work. And you can download it on the gallery. My origin ID is MaddieJ1996. I think the final cost was about 33,000 simoleons, I think. So yeah, if you just search through my EA ID, you'll be able to find it and you can download it. There's no custom content, and as I said, it is fully functional and it's got everything basically that your sim needs. Not like a lot of things in it, because I mean there's only so much that you can fit into a micro home, and that's usually my biggest struggle and the reason that I'm not the biggest fan of these really small homes, because I like I say, a lot of decoration, I like a lot of clutter and things like that, and it's just when you've got a small home like this, you have to be really sort of wise about what you put in it. So yeah, I would try to be a little bit more reserved. It's only got, well, it's kind of got the basics, but I did want to still have some fun with it. So there are some kind of more decor style elements to it, but yeah, at the same time, I did try to keep it as much as possible, just kind of what your Sims need to survive. And then I'm just doing the landscaping here, which I largely did with a lot of debug items as well to keep the cost down as much as I could. And also I've seen a lot of videos recently from other simmers building with debug landscaping, which I do sometimes, but not all the time. I don't really have the patience to be going through the debug catalog all the time, but I thought I would give it a try in this build. And then as you can see, the outdoors here, I end up removing the chimney because I don't know how it happened, but I started with 32 tiles, which is the maximum for a micro home. And then as I was building it, all of a sudden it was 33 tiles, and I'm sure that I didn't add another tile to the build. I don't remember doing so, at least, but yeah, I had to remove one tile, so I did end up removing that chimney. And actually it probably works out all right, because I don't know what I really would have done with that space otherwise. But as you can see from the floor plan, it is really random. You'll be surprised to hear, or not, that I absolutely had no initial thoughts prior to going into this in terms of the floor plan or anything else. Literally all I knew was that it was going to be a micro home that was basically black and white in terms of the floor plan. I had no idea, and as I said, this is not something that I really do, micro homes, small homes, so I didn't really have anything in mind prior, so I basically just got the plot of land, took out my wall tool and just kind of put anything that I don't know, that I just first thought of. But this is the original land, like floor plan at the moment, but I do end up changing this because I was a bit worried about functionality. As I said, I do want to make this, work properly for your Sims, and I wasn't 100% sure that they could reach all the kitchen appliances, so I do end up making the kitchen space a bit bigger. But then that meant that the other 2 rooms were really, really small and didn't really have much room to put anything in, so I couldn't put a sofa or a bed or anything in those 2 rooms, so I ended up just making them one big room. So all in all, this is the kitchen and dining room. There's a kind of living bedroom space, and then there's a bathroom. So I did the 3x1 bathroom, which is the first time I've ever done that. I know how it's done, like I knew it was possible, but at the same time, I do really like style. It's not the most stylish, but it just works for basically what you want to do for getting a micro home. It does the job. So I thought, I'll bite the bullet, I'll do it. And actually I've realized that I could have even made it smaller and done like a 2x1 with just a shower and a toilet, because I do have a sink in the kitchen. And I know that a lot of the times with micro homes, people do tend to just use one sink, either in the kitchen or in the bathroom. But I do have 2 sinks in this property, so I could have, just made the bathroom a bit smaller, but I didn't think about that at the time. But 3x1 is already a really small bathroom, so basically, if you're not too familiar with that, you'll see it in a second, but basically, as you walk in, there's an open shower. So I know a lot of people, when this pack first came out, they would use the Discover University shower that you just kind of stick on the wall, and it doesn't have walls either side. So it's like a very sort of open bathroom, but we also got a similar shower with snowy escape. So basically there's no kind of walls to the shower, you just sort of stick it on the wall. You have the little shower head, and then that's pretty much it. So I use the snowy escape one, and then one side I put the toilet, and the other side I put the sink and a mirror as well. So it's got basically everything that you need. There's no bath, but I think that would be pushing it in a micro home. But yeah, that's kind of the 3x1 bathroom. And then, as I said, I combined everything else basically that you need in the other rooms. There's no kind of traditional bedroom or living room, which, I don't think, again, that you can really do in a micro home. So I tried my best. And this is the bathroom that you can see here. I ended up using a loft bed in the other room. Originally, I just did it kind of for the fun of it, because I think loft beds and bunk beds and stuff are still quite a novelty, still quite new. But it actually really came in handy. So I don't have room for like a sofa and a TV. I do have some armchairs, but basically I put a little TV next to the loft bed, so your sim can sort of relax on top of the loft bed and then watch TV. And I, all throughout this build, was trying to think of things that I'd forgotten. And right towards the end, I realised that I hadn't put a dresser. Now, a dresser isn't strictly necessary, because if your sim wants to kind of change their outfits, you can either shift click on your sim, or you can use the mirror, of which there is one in the bathroom. But I just thought, with a little bit of realism, there wasn't much storage space in this house, so I thought a dresser could be used. I mean, again, it's not necessary, but really, where would your sim put their clothes? So I ended up putting that underneath the loft bed. So if I'd just done a regular bed, I don't think I would have had space for that. So already it is definitely proving useful. And I know a lot of people do think that we should have got bunk beds in the tiny living pack, and I am very inclined to agree. It really did help in this build. But yeah, I think we are coming on to the end now. This is just that kind of mini living area, and then you've got the loft bed over there. I did originally try to put a desk under the loft bed, but I realised that there's a laptop in the dining room, so there wasn't really much need to it. And then, yeah, as you can see in the end here, in the back garden, I have removed the chimney. That was just a luxury that we could not afford in this build. But yeah, I hope you liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely a challenge. I like doing things that I don't usually do, trying new things, challenging myself with new builds. So yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I hope that you liked it as well. If you did, let me know. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I hope you enjoyed the screenshots that are coming up, and I hope that I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.